Go back to, it's beyond relationships, not transactions. Very, very important. The pain share is a great. It's not quite a sword of Damocles, but it's a really useful tool to focus minds. And that obviously doesn't exist in a traditional method. The equal footing of the client being part of that, the client as part of a team sounds counterintuitive to a project, but the client is an intrinsic part of a delivery team and not someone, but you're being done with rather than done to.
Oof, more responsibility, more flexibility, and more appreciation.
The openness and transparency of it, and ownership structure, which I think leads to better outcomes. The ability to be flexible. There would be my top three.
That's all encompassed in a kind of healthier mental, a healthier mental process, which is about being collaborative, being supportive, and being less stressed. That's one. And the other one I would probably say is something, despite recent events, about fairness. About it's a model where people get paid the right amount of money for doing the right thing, whereas traditional contracts, as we said previously, rely upon someone somewhere gets screwed over in the process. Whereas in IPI, I think that the amount of money you get paid, or everyone gets paid, I think is much fairer. Fair money for fair effort. Unlike any other project I've ever done, I do feel like I've really built this one. Like, I haven't just designed it and helped it being built by someone else. I feel like, really, mentally, I've built it. I've been involved in all the issues about subcontractors on site and costings and everything. You've been much more. It does feel much more like a group of people have come together and have created something collegiately.
Yeah,
rather
agreed.
than a load of disparate people have come together and added their bit in, and it's magically happened.
Less stress is one of mine.
Yeah.
I don't want to say fun because it sounds a bit shitty. I'm like, oh, it's fun. I think learning is probably another word that I'd pick to throw in there. Not least because like it's a new thing and there's learning a new thing, but you get it. I've been exposed to a lot of things in decision making and logic and prioritizing and understanding of how subcontractors work and decisions are made on site that are very real, that normally I wouldn't get exposed to because it's either hidden from you or you don't trust whether it is real information that you've been given. So I think there's a huge amount of learning component lurking in there somewhere.
Accountability, relationships, positive relationships, and risk.
More influence over design, greater project involvement throughout the process, and a greater opportunity for collaboration.
So yeah, IPI, but that's because it suits the values that are important to me and were important to the organisation.
I can't answer either way, to be honest. This was just a difficult project. I think IPI would be better.
IPI.
It's a bit young at the moment, but yes, it has the potential to be.
Yeah, I think it is. I think the qualms we have with it are because there's a disconnect between what architects want and what clients want.
Yeah.
So like if the client wanted ridiculously sharp brass details everywhere that were beautifully ornate, then IPI could deliver that as well as anything else could. if not better. So I think it is.
Traditional project.
IPI.
Less risk, much less risk. Under a normal project, it could have gone over by £1 million, regardless of COVID, because of all those issues around, delays, asbestos clearance, whaleys, all that sort of stuff. So for the client, absolutely less risk in this method.
Less risk is shared, isn't it?
There was
I
less
think
risk.
there's less.
So more risk because we weren't in control of everything ourselves. It's easy to reduce risk when it's your own project, isn't it?
More.
I mean, yes, in that we would have been on time and on budget.
Yes.
I agree. It particularly with COVID. Then yes. If we'd have done this, if we'd have done this particular project, in any other way, it would have been much less efficient.
Yeah, I think it would have. I think it's really hard because you don't know, you're comparing apples and oranges. But given the delays that would have happened as a result of finances on a traditional, I suspect we've delivered it faster than it would have been delivered in traditional circumstance, because there would have been down tools at various points and so on.
No.
Yeah, we could have done, but it would have probably cost us more, and it may not have finished on time. There will be a number of things that wouldn't have happened because they have relied on creative problem solving, but wouldn't have been as second nature in a traditional method.
No.
Yeah, but I think it would have broken somebody. Hopefully not me.
No.
Yes.
Except for the
Yes,
last
other than the
week.
last 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same.
Yes, up until the last few minutes.
The behavior towards us as a client was brilliant. I don't know whether that is down to IPI or just the interpersonal relationships. I think probably held within the IPI process, spellers were probably, we had a better relationship with spellers than we may have done if there's been a traditional.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll go with yes.
Not more than a traditional project.
Yes, but I think there were occasions where people's familiarity with each other meant that a few stunts were pulled.
Technical things, the buildability, no, but costs, no. People just don't understand the cost of things outside of contracting. But generally, the best for a project, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Personally, yes. Commercially, sometimes.